We will be dealing with PowerPoint presentation media. We will be having these guidelines, animations, and hyperlink together with the keyboard shortcuts and the like. So this will be focusing on online distance learning. So let's continue. Okay. So like what our moderator says earlier, so PowerPoint media presentation is one of the most uh, useful platform that we're going to utilize in this new normal, wherein most of our presentation will be using this media specifically in Google Meet or in Zoom conferencing. There are guidelines to be observed in using this PowerPoint presentation media. The first one are just the suggestions for the use of fonts, colors, and graphics when preparing PowerPoint presentation for sessions and seminar. The media, specifically this PowerPoint, is designed to enhance your presentation and note, not be the presentation. Okay, we will understand about this statement later on. Once again, this media is designed to enhance your presentation and not be the presentation. Okay. The first one is the PowerPoint slide. In terms of the slides, highlight key points or reinforce what the facilitator is saying. It should be short and direct to the point. Include only keywords and phrases for visual and reinforcements. In order for your presentation to fit on most screens, text and images should be placed within 95% of the PowerPoint slide. In Windows 8.1, Windows 8, and in other version of Windows, with an offices of, let's say, Microsoft Office lower than this 2019, 2016, 2013, and even 2010, we have different versions of offices. Different version wherein they have different access and different control keys. And the good thing in our Office 2019, even in 2016, and in our 365, they have updated the different access that we can do in PowerPoint presentation. So you may observe before the Microsoft PowerPoint is just square, ang kanyang size. Then this time it is updated into rectangular size, wherein it can cover the 95% of your screen. So which is a good thing. That specifically in Google Meet, it is not, the display is not square, but it is rectangle. The same with when we are in our face-to-face, the display of the projector, the LCD is rectangle and not a square, which is good. In terms of PowerPoint layout continuity from frame to frame conveys a sense of completeness. Headings, subheadings, and logos should show up in the same spot on each frame. Margins, fonts, font size, and color should be consistent with graphics located in the same general position on each frame. The frame that we are talking about is the slide itself. Lines, boxes, borders, and open space also should be consistent throughout. Okay. The use of these features, hindi mo kailangan na baguhin every slide that you're going to have in your presentation. That you use another font size, font format in each slide. So we will understand it sooner. The next one is the font. In terms of our font style, it should be readable, of course. That is the very reason of presenting in a PowerPoint presentation. It should be readable and it should convey the information to your audience. The recommended fonts are Arial, Tahoma, or Verdana. The font style is already presented. The Arial in this type, and the Tahoma, and the Verdana. Standardize the font throughout. That is the thing that I'm talking about earlier. Then this presentation is in Tahoma. So the font style of this slide is in Tahoma font style. Okay, how about the font size? In terms of the size of the font, the larger the better. Remember, your slides must be readable, even at the back of the room. Since we are just sharing in this screen type, wherein we are in the Google Meet or even in the Zoom share presentation, so whatever the font size, it can be read depending on your vision. But in terms, if you have different audience with you, the font size should be considered. This is a good title size, which is Verdana style in a size of 40 points. So that is the proposed and suggested font size of the title or the topic of each presentation. A good subtitle or bullet points size Verdana 32 point. So these are the suggested subtitle for your topic. Then the content text should be no smaller than Verdana 24 point. So why is that the style is highlighted? Because the different style presented in the offices have different size. Even though it is set in 12 point, in Verdana it is larger compared to Arial, in even Tahoma. Then go to Times New Roman, another size, but it is still 12 point. So meaning the font style differs in the font sizes. So the Verdana, as it is presented here, it is larger compared to Arial or even Times New Roman when even it is just the same 24 point size. So the suggested text in our presentation is no smaller than 24, even though we are in just sharing the screen in our Google Meet. Still make use of 24 font size. This font size is not recommended for content, which is 12 points. Yes, it is, you maximize the template, you maximize the slide, but you sacrifice the readability. Okay, let's continue. So this is what I'm talking about, the 95% screen, wherein you can maximize the usage of the template itself or the slide itself, which is known as the action safe. So it is safe that you maximize in 95% of the screen. So it covers all the screen. It can be shown. All of the spaces in our PowerPoint slide, as we can see, we can maximize this and we can stretch every text, every font, depending on the capacity of your screen. So it is a good side of this PowerPoint. Even if it has text, a photo, or a video that you're going to insert in the PowerPoint, you can maximize the space. Again, in the font size, combining small font sizes with bold or italics is not recommended. Maliit na nga yung text mo, ibinold mo pa just to highlight it and to stress out. So we thought that it can be a sort of giving the text a focus, but it does not. Okay. Even though you use it as italic, so still, maliit pa rin yung font mo. So, hindi pa rin siya talaga readable. Like what this example is, the Garamond font, which is italic, bold pa, then 12 point lang naman. So, we thought that it is a focusing statement, but of course, it's not. This is very difficult to read. Times New Roman ang font mo, binold mo nga, pero 12 naman yung size mo. The same thing with this, Century Gothic font, yes. 14 yung font size mo, bold nga, pero let's say, italize mo or not, still, it is not that readable. No one will be able to read this about Jill Sands font, bold, which is 12 point. Yes, we are able to read since we are using our gadgets or even our laptops. But how about those students who will be using their cell phones or Android phones and we will be using these sizes of font? How about their vision? We are sacrificing their sight. Small fonts are okay for a footer such as the date or the address or even the the reference that we are using. So we can make use of those small points rather than the text itself in our presentation. Yan, exactly. The font, don't sacrifice readability for style. Sometimes we are making PowerPoint with a different font style in just one slide. Different colors. We apply the different style. We apply the different sizes. We apply the different colors, different background in just one slide. We thought that it is creative enough, but of course it is technically wrong. And it cannot be that readable enough. So we are sacrifice the readability. Don't, and again, the same thing. How about this? You use the Times New Roman font style here, then you bold it, then the color is not contrasting enough with the background itself. Then sabi nga kanina, don't make use of all caps font. Don't sacrifice readability for style. Yes, ang ganda ng font style mo, pakulot-kulot pa sa kabilang ending ng font. But nabasa ba ng talaga ng bata? How about you're going to write different text in just one slide using this font style? How come that it will be read? And the same thing with this. You are using neon color for the font type, and of course you all caps the text still. Kinain mo na yung screen, kinain mo na yung slide, hindi naman ganun talaga ka-readable enough. And of course, we are serving also how we're going to contextualize a paragraph or how we're going to write a correct writing of paragraph or even a sentence. Okay, the caps and the italics. Do not use all capital letters. Makes text hard to read. It conceals acronym. Yes, in some of our topics, there are acronyms that should be highlighted. But since we are using all caps in our statement, wala na siyang pagkakaiba sa ibang text or sa ibang wordings. So there is no emphasis on it. Okay. In terms of italics, it is just used for the quotes. It is used for the highlights of thoughts or ideas or even the titles of our books, journals, and magazine. Or sometimes we are using italic in terms of our subtitle. So let's say our title, then it is in bold type, then our subtitle is smaller font size, then we italicize it. So sometimes we are using that. But of course, we should observe these guidelines in terms of using the bold and the italic. How about in the use of template? Use a set font and color scheme. So in your PowerPoint slide, yes, there are different design template which are already presented in your PowerPoint once you open the media. Marami nang lalabas. You're just going to choose different designs. But don't make use of all the designs in just one presentation alone. So gagamit tayo ng one template and one set of font na lamang para uniform and standard all throughout the presentation. Hindi yun, in slide number 1, ito yung iyong design. Slides number 2, naging color red yung background mo. Slide number 3, naging green. Iba pa yung font mo. Wow, napaka-creative. Nalito na ako sa aking focus. Then, different styles are disconcerting to the audience. It seems creative enough, but it's still, hindi naman tayo nagko-concert sa ating audience and we are not performing in our audience. We are conveying information to them. You want the audience to focus on what you present, not the way you present. That is. It is not the styles that you are presenting, but of course the information that they will get in your presentation. The same thing, use the same background on each slide. Sometimes we are inserting photos and animated pictures for us. For example, lalagyan mo pa dyan ng butterfly, then ng flower, ng puno. But of course, hindi naman sakto sa iyong topic. It's somehow nangyayari yun sa atin. We observe that in some cases. Ang layo sa iyong topic ng iyong background. Ang layo ng iyong template sa iyong topic. Ang layo ng design mo sa iyong pinoportray na information. Ang topic mo, animals. Ang background mo, flowers. With, yes, may butterfly, pero more on somehow, magkaibang topic naman yon. Okay. Then, in terms of colors, yun na. So, sometimes we are using technicolors. Wherein, hindi ka naman gumagawa ng abstract. So, we are just making a presentation of information or data for us our audience to access the information. In terms of the colors, reds and oranges are high energy but can be difficult to stay focused on. Yes. Na-emphasize yung font color ng red and orange pero hindi naman talaga makatagal yung iyong vision, yung iyong tingin sa kulay na ito. Same with the greens, blues, and brown. Yes, malamig sa mata but not attention-grabbing. Yes, exactly. Oo nga, nakaya nang tingnan, ang ganda, ang lamig sa mata mo, pero hindi naman siya ganun yung dating sa'yo, why am I going to focus on this text? Reds and greens can be difficult to see for those who are colorblind. How about those audience naman or participants which is colorblinded, wherein iba na yung tingin nila sa iyong background, iba pa yung tingin nila sa iyong font color. Avoid these combinations. Sometimes we are using the background which is not contrasting enough with the font color that we are using. Green on blue. Dark colored nga, pero yung iyong background mo, dark colored, blue, but yung font mo, yes, sasabihin mo, green naman siya, makikita naman. But of course, still it is dark. How about dark yellow on green? Okay, we're using this golden yellow in a green background. But still, pero kung neon color ang ginamit mo, ang sakit sa mata. How much more kapag buong slide or buong template ay itong gamit mong font color. The same with the purple on blue. Pale na nga, yung font color, ilalagay mo sa dark color, how come it will be red? Orange on green. Yes, the same thing. It is a neon colors wherein yung orange na ang tingkad-tingkad na nga, nilagay mo pa sa green mo, yes, sabi mo malamig sa mata, but of course, yung focus mo hindi naman makakatagal sa kulay na yon. The same thing with the red on green. Hindi pa Pasko, malapit pa lang. Okay, let's proceed with the colors. The white on dark background should not be used if audience is more than 20 feet away. So I'm using white background since my audience are just in this screen shared conference. So once you are with a big audience, don't make use of white background. Make use of dark colored background para makapag-focus sila sa text. The same thing with an example. Dark blue ang iyong background at ang iyong font color is white for it is to be seen in your background. This set of slides is a good example. You can read the slides up close. The farther away you get, the harder it is to read. This is a good color combination if viewed on a computer. Yes, it is. And a dark background on a computer screen reduces glares. Okay. So nakita mo yung background, then contrasting yung iyong font, yung dating sa'yo, nakafocus ka ngayon sa font color. Okay. The same thing as a continuation in the large hall events. Like what I've said, avoid white backgrounds. The white screen can be blinding in a dark room. Yes, oo nga naman. May isa kang ilaw na napakaliwanag sa kwartong napakadilim. Sakit nga naman sa mata nun. Then doon ka pa nakapokus. Dark slides with light-colored text work best. Okay, the same with the examples. The color wheel. Ito na. In terms of the contrasting color and the complementary colors, make use of our color wheel. Colors separated by another color are contrasting color or complementary. For example, this is our color wheel. The contrasting color, for example, this one, the red and the blue. So meaning, red font can be used in blue background. The same thing. Yellow font can be used in purple. The same thing, yellow with the blue. Or orange with the blue. So the same thing with this, orange in a blue. So possible pala yun. Then, colors directly opposite on another are said to clash. Yun na nga yun. Then, adjacent colors harmonize with one another. So, yung mga magkakatabi namang kulay, for example, the yellow and green. So, it can be combined, can be mixed up, the color of the yellow and green. Then, the same thing with the orange and yellow, and the orange and red, and the alike. So, the adjacent colors harmonize with one another. Hindi yun sa iba mo i-combine. Okay. So this is what I'm talking about, the background colors. Remember, we are into readability. So this is a good mix of colors. It is readable. So this is the style or the template that I'm using in this presentation. I'm using a white background since we are just using the screen. Then I'm using a text color which is dark. The same thing with this. If your audience is 20 feet away and you are in a hall, make use of a dark background with the light color of the font. So of course, in contrast, so these are the bad mix of colors. Okay, of course. Light background na, light colored pa ng font. How come that it will be red? The same thing with this. Okay. Limit each slide to one idea. Yes, of course. In our topics, in our team, for example, meron tayong tinatawag na taxonomy. Taxonomy is the bank of a word from, for example, A to Z. Meron kang mga text doon na related sa main team mo. Then, ilalagay mo lahat sa isang slide. But each team is different from another team. So, meaning, magkakaiba sila ng slide na iyong gagawin. For example, this one slide talks about the cell, and another slide will be stressing about the, let's say, tissue. So, magkaiba sila ng team. So, wag mo pagsamahin sa isang slide. It should be in just one idea. And another example, we have the circulatory system. Oo nga't meron comprises sila ng blood, ng heart, and your blood vessels. Pero sila naman ay magkakaiba pa rin content. So don't make use of one slide of those topics. So make use of bullets. We are using the bullets to itemize the details. Keep each bullet to one line, 2 at the most. Limit the number of bullets in a screen to 6. 4 if there is a large title, logo, or picture, etc. Like this example, we have the 40 font size of Verdana as my title. Then I have here 4 bullets. So I'm using this because I have a large size of my, or big type size of my font. This is known as queuing. So we are using queuing for as the facilitator, the speaker, is able to have the idea of the things that he or she will be saying in her or his audience. So ito lang is mga keywords lamang and phrases are the things that you're going to type or write in your slide using the bullets. Cues are brief preview. Yes, papakita mo lang para yung alam mo na yung susunod na idea in terms of the information that you're going to give to your audience. Then it is a framework to build upon. Yes, exactly. That is your beginning idea, beginning statement in your topic or in your team. Ito. If you gather too much text, the audience won't read it. Of course, hindi ka na gumamit ng bullet, nilagay mo pa buong paragraph na kinopy-paste mo from the word or from the internet source. Nagbukas ka ng site, kinopya mo, Ctrl-C, Ctrl-V mo, then pinis mo dito, pinalakihan mo ng konti yung iyong paragraph, it is still a paragraph. Hindi mo na nga in-outline, yes, naipakita mo, nabasa mo nga, yes, nabasa ng audience mo, but still walang emphasis. Too much text look easy and hard to read. Yes, exactly. Why read it when you're going to tell them what it says? Diba? So sila na lang magbabasa. Our reading speed does not match our listening speed. Hence, they confuse instead of reinforce. Yes, ang galing ni teacher magbasa. Nabasa niya buong paragraph in just one slide alone. Ang ganong kabilis. Tanungin mong bata, babasahin pa uli ng bata for him or her to understand what you have said. Then, this is what I'm talking about, the paragraph. Avoid the old word slide. So ito na yung statement. Another thing to avoid is the use of a large black paragraph to introduce your information. Attendees do not like to have what it is on the screen. Read to them verbatim. So please use short, bulleted statements. Avoid typing. Wow, ang galing magbasa ni teacher. Ang pronunciation and diction na doon, ang bilis. Naintindihan ba ng bata in just one paragraph that you posted in your presentation? Remember, do not use the media, this presentation, PowerPoint, to hide you. It is not the presentation that you are stressing out. It is you as the facilitator or the speaker that will be stressed out together with the information that you're going to give them. The audience came to see you. Yes, it is not the animation, it's not the style, it's not the effects that you use in your presentation, but of course, it is you and the idea or the thoughts that you're going to give them. The media should enhance, ito yung sinabi natin, and not be the presentation. If you're only going to read from the slide, then just send them the slide. Yes, exactly. That is the worst thing. Isinulat mo lahat ng content in your slide. Napakarami mong slides in your just one presentation alone. Then, isend mo na lamang sa bata. Sila na lang yung magbasa. Nahirapan ka pa sa pagbabasa at sa paggagawa ng PowerPoint kung ilalagay mo rin naman ang lahat na nakasulat sa iyong modules. Okay. So those are the guidelines that we should observe in making and creating our own PowerPoint. So as of now, we have 78 participants in this webinar of this online distance learning together with the modular distance learning faculty. Once again, thank you so much po. So we will be focusing right now in keyboard shortcuts. Sige po, inhale muna tayo. Then exhale. Ayan. Hindi ko na po kayo pinapabasa para tayo ay mapabilis sa ating presentation. Still, it is easily understood naman po. Okay, let's proceed with the keyboard shortcuts. So these are the common shortcuts that we are using in PowerPoint. So pwede kang marinig ang boses nyo dito naman sa portion na to. Ano nga? What is Control C? Anybody?
Copy.
Yes, exactly. It is copy. How about Control V?
Paste.
Yes, it is paste. Control X?
Cut.
Cut. Wow, sino yung sumasagot? Ang galing naman. Parang iisa yung estudyante ko. Si Ma'am Angelisa yata, you know. How about the others? Okay, Ma'am Angie, Marianito, what is Control Z?
Redo.
Ayan, redo, si Ma'am Merle. Okay, how about Control Y?
Undo.
Yes, undo is Control C, rather. How about Control Y? It is
Redo.
redo. Okay. How about Control P? The common Control P is known as?
Print.
Print. And Control A?
Select all. Highlight.
Okay, select all.
Select
Then, how about Control N?
New document.
Yes, exactly. Control O.
Open a document.
Ang galing talaga ni Ma'am Merle. How about the
Save.
other? Save. We have the save. And
Underline.
of course, yes, underline. Pwede po tayo mag-open ng ating mic. Then Control B is?
Hold.
Bold type of the font. And Control I is? italicized. And Control J is
Justify.
justified. Okay, these are just the common. Okay, punta tayo dito sa iba. Masagot pa kaya ito? How about, ito naman ha, kakaroon tayo ng USB. Alt, press and release, plus N, plus X. Ano kaya po ito? So these are the common shortcuts that I'm using in making my own presentation. I'm just sharing it.
Sa PowerPoint yan?
Yes po, sa PowerPoint po ito. How about the rest of the participants? What is this alt press? Press alt and release it. Then
Hindi ko ginagamit.
press N
ang-
and X. Magkasunod yung N and X. Ano kaya ito?
Wait.
Text box.
Yes, exactly. We are using a text in order for us to insert another text or text box. So sometimes we are selecting pa do sa ating tab sa taas ng ating slides para lang tayo, then drawing tayo ng malaking square para sa ating text. So we can use this alt then an X, then meron na tayong text. And the same with alt T, which is
Drawing
text
tools.
box.
Text box ba? Akala ko drawing tools.
Okay. Pwede rin po in some cases. Pero
diba?
commonly it is text box. Yes po.
Okay.
Para
How
sa
about-
old version, sir, yun ano? Sa old version.
Pwede rin po to sa sa new ay tinatanggap din naman po.
Yes, sa bagong PowerPoint, yung LTI drawing tools.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, ma'am. How about the control bracket, close bracket?
Pagpapaliit po at pagpapalaki ng text.
Papapalakin.
Sige, tingnan nga natin if it is correct. Yes, enlarge font size yung ating kanan. Then yung kaliwa natin is reduce font size. So ibig sabihin, select mo muna yung font mo, Control A, then press Control bracket para mapaliit at mapalaki. So alisin ko dito sa ating screen. Okay, kita rin po ba sa ating screen or nawala?
Nawala.
Okay, another window. Okay, yan po. Presenting tayo. Alisin natin to. Palaki natin yan. Okay. So dito tayo, select natin tong ating size. Palakihin ko lang to ng konti para kita natin or to ng kabila. Okay. Select lang natin, control, itong i-block natin itong part na to, then press control bracket right, bracket, yung close, then we are enlarging the font. Instead of selecting here the size. And the good thing here is, yung iyong enlarging and reducing the size ay maliit yung palitan. Hindi yung pagpunta mo dito is magse-select ka na lamang ng palaki to paliit. Then, in the same thing, the control naman ay para naman sa mapalit natin. Ito namang kabila. Okay po. Reduce font size. Then, how about, of course, this Control E, which is center. Ayan. And let's say we're going to insert a photo. Insert tayo. By the way, inserting photo, you can do it inside the PowerPoint itself or you can copy from the outside source. Insert photo from this device. Yan, picture ko lang yung nakita ko. Then, in terms of this photo, let's say shift plus arrow up. I-select natin yung photo, then press natin yung shift. Then, yung cursor key natin ng up in order for us to enlarge the image and to reduce it the down cursor. Okay. Instead of pressing this corner dots here just to enlarge and to reduce, so we can make use of the keyboard shortcut para makontrol naman natin yung paglaki. Instead, yung minsan kasi napapadulas tayo, biglang laki yung ating picture. So, delete na natin. Okay, let's continue. Okay. How about Alt Q? Are you familiar with the Alt Q? Anybody? Using the Alt Q. So we make use of Alt Q in order to group objects. The same with ito yung QWE. Ang maganda rito is pinagtabi-tabi na yung mga letters o yung control keys using the Alt. Kanina ang gamit natin ni control. This time we are using the Alt and the Shift. Okay, Alt Q is to group the object. Let's see. Okay. Example, ito ay kaiba. Another to and another yan. So, dalawa yung ating part ng ating PowerPoint dyan. So, isa, yan, and another. So, magkakaiba. Let's say, Control A. Sinelect ko lahat. Then, Alt Q. So, buo na sila. Alt Q ay naselect ko na ang kabuuan. So, that is Alt Q. Then, balik tayo sa Control Z. Okay. Then, Control Z natin, yung original.
It doesn't work on mine.
Okay, what version of Office po ang gamit niyo, ma'am?
Ano ba yung in-install mo?
2016 po.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Mamaya po, explain ko po, ma'am. Para mapagana natin to lahat. Para ma-update kahit anong version po ng ating Office. At lahat ng access na ito ay magamit natin in different version of Offices. Okay po. Then, ang group, Alt W and Alt E is to regroup. Then, send to back. For example, may picture ulit tayo. We have here my picture. Then I have text here. Then I'm going to make use of this as to put this text in front. Alt Shift F. Alt Shift F. So yung text ko ay nasa unahan na. Okay.
Ako na yun.
Then if I'm going to put my picture backward pa, so Alt Shift B. So napapunta na siya sa likod. Then tingnan natin. Alt Shift B.
Language switching.
Yeah. Alt Shift po. Then the same thing with this. Okay. Ayan. Then Alt Shift F in front. Okay pa. It. So these are just some of the keyboard shortcut, the common keyboard shortcut that we can make use in our presentation. Instead of using the tabs in our screen, so we can make use of this keyboard para naman mas mabilis tayo. For example, we're going to have a new slide. Hindi ko na isama dito. Control M. Control M is for new slide. Okay? You have your new slide here. Alisin muna natin itong text natin doon. So, meron na tayong new slide natin. Then, Control C natin and another Control V. So, dalawa na yung ating new slides. Okay. Then, in this slide, let's just press Alt and X. So, for the text, let's say, Jonathan B. Mayo. Then, we're just going to stretch. Para ma-stretch natin yung text box natin. Sometimes kasi, let's say, balik tayo dito. Control C. Ito natin i-stretch natin, yung kanang part lamang. Pero para ma-stretch natin pareho, once you press this side, i-press mo rin yung control sa iyong keyboard, then saka mo siya i-stretch para yung perehong corner, equally siya may stretch. Okay po. Select, Control A, then Control E for it to be centered. Then select natin. Then control bracket, close bracket para is to enlarge our text. Okay? Sometimes we are using control T. So hindi ko na sinama yung control T. Ang control T para may access ka na agad dun sa font. Anong kulay, anong font style, anong size, pwede mo nang baguhin dito. Unlike na pupunta ka pa dito. Okay? Pwede rin naman dito. Okay. And so we are going to make use of Verdana here. Okay, the control B. That's it. Okay, let's proceed. How about in inserting hypermedia? So the thing that I'm talking about is when you're talking about hypermedia, those are the photos, the video, and the audio that you're going to insert in your PowerPoint. Okay, these are just some or the common format of photos and media. The first one is JPEG. Sometimes we are observing these formats, and we are seeing this in online in our research of the pictures. And what do you mean by JPEG? Ano ba ang ibig sabihin ng JPEG? Ano ba yung GIF, yung PNG, at yung TIFF? What do you mean by JPEG? Anybody? JPEG, the most common font the graphic format, the JPEG. So meaning it is the Joint Photographic Expert Group. So it is made of that company. Joint Photographic Expert Group. The same with GIF. Ang GIF naman po ay Graphics Interface Format. And actually this PNG is originally pronounced as PNG, but it is mentioned as PNG. Portable Network Graphics at itong ating tag interface format. Okay. So, yan yung meaning. Image. Okay, for JPEG, it is still image. What I'm talking about is just 2D. So, on JPEG natin, commonly, ito yung ating kinopya pag nag-search tayo sa ating hotspot sa ating Google. So it is the JPEG that is originally been searched in our Chrome. So it is the 2D format of your image, which is still image. Meanwhile, the GIF is the bitmap image. When I'm talking about the bitmap, GIF is the animated format. When you copy the GIF into PowerPoint, for example, you research a picture. Kapag magre-research ka sa, let's say, pakita na nga natin. Palit lang tayo ng screen. Another Chrome. So make use of new tab. Okay, let's say we're going to search for a photo. Let's say, .jpeg. So pwede mo isulat kung specific format kung anong iyong i-search. So dub natin, so sa image, punta tayo sa image. Yan yung mga JPEG format ng ating dub. Okay pa? So still image. But if we're going to select dub as GIF, let's say GIF, graphics interface format, so search natin this one, GIF. So that is the animated bitmap image. So when you copy this, let's say save as, you cannot see on the screen because it is another tab. So I save this GIF in my desktop. So punta ulit tayo sa aking PowerPoint. Okay, another window, then PowerPoint tayo. Okay. Insert picture from this device. Punta tayo sa aking desktop. Then kinopya ko doon yung GIF format ng dub. Then as you can see, it is animated. So mas maganda compared to still object. Okay po. Then yung PNG. When you're talking about the PNG, these are the lossless image. Ibig sabihin, PNG or PNG as it is pronounced is better compared to JPEG or TIFF. So in terms of the graphics resolution, pag kinopya mo kasi yung JPEG image, for example, yung picture mo, kinopya mo at sinend mo sa Messenger, nag-iibang resolution, di ba? Bumababa yung resolution, nagiging pixelated. Minsan nagiging blurred na kung mababa na yung source ng image mo, isinend mo pa into another source or in another site, specific, for example, in a Messenger, mas lalong liliit ang kanyang graphics resolution. So, PNG or PNG is lossless format. Meaning, kahit na saan mo siya isend ng isend, still yung pa rin ang kanyang resolution. For example, commonly ang PNG natin, let's say, we are using PNG, the raster format. Ibig sabihin, wala siyang background. So, for example, insert tayo. Insert picture from this device. Let's say dito tayo sa aking LCP. Punta ako sa PNG format. Ito yung mga PNG. Commonly, ginagamit natin sa mga logo natin. So, logo natin, Control C. Punta tayo dito sa may background ng konti. So, makita natin, walang background yung ating image. So, kapag isinend natin to into another site, so still, yung kanyang resolution, yung kanyang bigat ng kanyang graphics bandwidth is just the same in other site that you're going to send it. So, that is the good thing or the upside of this PNG compared to JPEG format. So sometimes in my PowerPoint or most of the time, so I'm using the PNG or the PNG format rather than the JPEG alone. So nag-e-edit lang ako doon sa Photoshop para maalis yung background at isa-save ko as PNG format. Okay. Dito kung for example this one, okay. Puntahin natin to sa harap. Okay. Then palaki natin yung picture ko. Shift arrow. Okay. Kita natin may background siya. Pero hindi natin maaalis yun as we can save is at. Pwede mo pang i-edit to. I-edit mo pa to sa Photoshop. Alas yung background. Then save as PNG file. Okay. Dito naman, itong PNG file natin dito sa kanan, pwede naman natin itong i-save as JPEG. So save as picture. Then yung format, pwede mong ibahin. Pwede siyang JPEG kung gusto mong mabalik siya sa may background. Okay? So, kukunin natin yun uli. Insert mo yung picture na sinave mo. Nasa desktop mo. So, ito na yon. So, may background na. Okay? So, that is the difference. Pwede mo namang isave yung iyong PNG or PNG format into JPEG. So, that is the difference between the two. Okay? Tayo. Okay. So the same thing with the TIFF or the tag image file format. Sometimes or most of the time it is used in the web wherein it is a format wherein the same thing it is lossless. Yun nga lang when you say lossless or lossy format, yung bigat ng kanilang bandwidth ay hindi nababago yung graphic resolution. Ang downside lamang ng mga ito is mas malaki ang kinakain nila sa iyong let's say in sending file mas matagal. Yung uploading time mo mas matagal kasi nga mas mabigat yung resolution. Pero mas maganda naman yung quality. The same with the video format. Magkakaiba pa rin ang kanyang video format. Okay. In terms of the video, we have the AVI and we also have the MOV, audio video interleave, the movie format or usually it is used in QuickTime. Okay, the AVI. Ang AVI is the absolute video format. Wherein when I'm saying absolute, ito na yung isa sa mga HD high definition format na talagang napakaganda naman yung kanyang graphics resolution. So, commonly sa DSLR, commonly makikita natin sa web, talagang ginamitan nila ng high definition format. In the movie format, or it is usually used in the QuickTime, so okay din naman ito, maganda rin yung kanyang format, the same with the FLB or the flash video format. Yung flash video format, ang downside lamang nito, hindi mo ito magagamit sa iOS, sa iPhone at saka sa iyong iPad. So yung flash, yung FLV. So ito'y commonly used in the Androids. So yung movie format, MOV, ito ay developed by the Apple company. Kasi nga hindi sila pwede sa FLV, so nagawa sila ng kanilang format which is the MOV. Yun nga lang, sometimes kapag yung video mo, nag-video ako sa aking iPhone, isinend ko sa aking laptop, hindi ngayon ma-read ng aking player. Kasi nga, hindi capable yung aking player sa format na MOV. So I need to install another software which is the codec, audio codec, para naman mabasa. Iba naman topic yon. Yun naman is para ma-standardize lahat ng format, para makuha lahat ng format ng video type. So pwede nyo i-search yung audio codec sa inyong Google para anumang format ng inyong i-download ay mababasa ng inyong system, specifically sa laptop nyo. Then, ang WMB, kung meron si Apple at meron si Android, si Windows or si Microsoft, nagawa rin ng kanilang format, which is the Windows Media Video. So, ang kagandahan nito is capable siya in different devices kasi nga Microsoft. Ang Microsoft naman, kilala natin na mapagbigay sa kanyang software. Kung meron si Microsoft, again, meron din ginawa si Apple, which is the MP4. MP4 is made by Apple company. So, MP4 is the low bandwidth compression format wherein mababa yung kanyang graphic resolution. Kaya mas madali siya. Commonly, nada-download natin is the MP4 format kasi nga mas magaan siya sa storage or capacity ng kanyang bandwidth at mas magaan siyang i-download. So, the same thing, mas madali din tong i-upload. So, yan yon. WMB and MP4, yan yung mga medyo mabababa na yung kanyang graphic resolution at mas madali na siyang i-upload or i-download. So these are just common formats of photos and videos that we can insert in our presentation. We all know that we can insert videos. Insert video, insert audio, insert pictures in our presentation. So these are just some of the formats that we can make use. So GIF, commonly mas maganda rin siyang gawin para naman magkaroon ng konting galaw doon sa iyong presentation. But of course, observe the guidelines. Hindi naman dahil galaw ng galaw, lahat ay nilagyan mo na ng mga nagalaw. Okay, let's proceed. Ayan na. So this will be the last topic, which will be the animation. In terms of animation, ayan. Punta lang ako sa aking desktop. Okay, magpalit tayo ng presentation. Okay. Ito yung aking desktop. So you can see here the sample presentation. Okay. These are some of my PowerPoint wherein mostly ito ay more on animation. Ginagamit ko itong mga PowerPoint slides na to kapag in terms of science, since ang science naman is more on interactive activities, more on animations. Mas maganda kung paggalawin mo yung hayop, paggalawin mo yung microorganism na nagalaw pala yung talagang amoeba, naglalakad. So, lagyan mo ng animation. But, of course, observe mo pa rin yung dami ng animation. Okay, for example, this one.
Yeah.
Nagawa ako ng PowerPoint presentation wherein this is a collaborative assessment. Sa collaborative assessment ko, pinakita ko dito na ito yung aking assessment in groupings. So ito yung sa science, assessment, heat and temperature. Makita natin dito, share it. Ito yung una kong presentation. Sa quiz nila to, summative quiz, wherein share it by twos. Yan yung tanong nila. Okay. Nag-insert ako ng video sa test nila. Then after this video, saka ako may tanong. Okay. Then nilagyan ko rin to ng timer. Nag-insert ako ng another video. So this is another video for us to have a, what you call it, for us to have a countdown in your quiz. So this is a minute test wherein they're just going to write true or false. So this is made by twos. Share it nga. So let's proceed with another. Okay. And this one, so continuation yan, may topic pa rin. Part ng aking quiz kasi sometimes para mas ma maalala ng bata yung topic the other time is maglalagay ako ng konting cue ideas sa mismong exam. So meron na sila agad na ideas ano yung tatakbuhin ng exam. Hindi yung puro tanong yung aking ginagawa. So ginagamit ko lang to kapag ang assessment ko ay by group. So yan yon. True or false pa rin yung continuation. Yan naman ay identification. So medyo humaba yung ating oras dyan. Okay. Then the same thing, may timer tayo dyan nilalagay para makontrol din natin yung oras natin sa ating presentation. Then itong presentation naman na to is since this is a quiz at meron ng time, ako pag-alagala na lamang sa aking klase at hindi ko na sila what I'm doing is just monitoring how they're answering at automatic naman yung presentation so you can set it. So pwede mo rin itong gawin sa ating video conference. Kahit naman sabihin natin video conference, pwede mong hindi ka na mag-control at automatic mong iset yung presentation at tinitingnan mo na lamang yung mga bata mo doon sa kanilang, let's say, ipipin natin yung bata sa ating screen. Since open video naman tayo, titingnan natin yung bawat bata habang nagpe-play pa rin yung presentation natin automatically. So yan yun, then pupunta sa triad, tatluhan naman yan. Then piatos, may tinatawag akong piatos, limahan kasi nga, I mean anim kasi anim na corner yung piatos. So 6 members naman yan. So by group din yan. So these are just some of my animation. So ibig sabihin, pwede ka mag-insert ng videos the same time, mag-insert ka ng audio, mag-insert ka ng photos the same time at yung in terms of animation. And lastly, may papakita lang din akong ito yung isa sa pinakamahirap kong ginawang PowerPoint. In terms of PowerPoint presentation, kailangan mo ring i-observe yung creativity. Yes, alam mo yung guidelines, alam mo yung dapat tandaan. But of course, we should observe also the creativity ng ating presentation. At ang creativity naman talaga ay hindi natin. Yes, pwede tayo magbigay ng ilang paalala or guidelines pero hindi naman to na ipapasa. So I know everybody is creative enough para magkakagawa ng presentation. So lastly, ito lang aking papakita at dito ka mag-i-stress ng animation. Okay, ito yung isa sa pinakamabigat kong ginawang presentation when I was in college pa to. So, kita natin, more on animation talaga ang ginawa ko. Parang ipapakita ko sa bata that they are somehow interactive, somehow para silang nasa online na they're just going to click. So, this is by group actually. So, let's say, nakalink na lahat dito. So, meron tayong tinatawag na hyperlink. So, yan yun. Pasensya na sa picture ko. So, yan po yun. Then, ito yung topic na assign sa akin. For example, ito yung naka-hyperlink. Once I click rack, so punta ako doon sa topic ng rack. Then when I click this home, punta uli ako doon sa aking main slide. Then let's say punta ako sa rack cycle. Okay, yung rack cycle, so this is the topic. Ayan. So yun yung content. Then punta uli ako sa home. Ayan. Punta ako doon sa example. Ayan. Ito yung sinasabi ko mabigat kasi bawat slide mo, meron kang lahat ng example dito ng bato, ng rocks. Commonly, ito is a grade 7 topic wherein ito lahat ay may kanya-kanyang specific slide kung saan sila mapupunta. For example, basalt. Anong itsura ng basalt? Ayan. Anong itsura ng marble? How about limestone? Ayan. How about chert? Conglomerate. So, nakalink lahat ito in different slide at dito nag-a-appear sa presenting slide natin. So, alisin natin sa presentation. Okay. Nakikita natin sa presentation kung bakit ko sinabing mabigat ito. Okay, select tayo ng isa. Control A. Yan po ang laman ng isang slide. So, napakarami. So, kailangan mo talaga ng oras. Let's say, I don't think it is creative enough, but of course, you are more creative than me. So, itong lahat ng ito ay magkakahiwalay po. So, talagang tiyagaan ang paggawa ng isang presentation. Tapos, kokopyahin lamang ng iyong mga kakilala in just one copy and paste. Siyempre, hindi naman tayo nagdadamot. So, papakopya natin. So, kita natin, ang daming in-insert natin. Magkakaiba pa rin yung box, magkakaiba rin pa rin yung font, paano natin pagsasama-samahin yan. So, yan yung isang laman ng isang slides pa lamang. But of course, it doesn't mean naman ng in different slides. For example, this is 80 slides in this presentation alone, ay gagawin mo lahat. No. Meron ka ng isang slide, so copy-paste na lamang yung gagawin mo. Hindi ka na paulit-ulit. That is the good thing. Then for example, itong home ay naka-hyperlink. Ano ba yung hyperlink? For example, i-press natin itong home. Nakikita ba ako sa screen? Nakikita po ba ang presentation ko?
Opo, sir.
Okay, thank you. So, sa home, i-click mo yung for example, ng different part, kahit na ito, kahit anong picture dyan. Let's say itong pusa ba to or DNA. I-right click mo lang, then press hyperlink. Dito sa hyperlink, okay, sa hyperlink part mo, pwede ka na mag-hyperlink to different slides. Okay? Pwede kang mamili kung saang slide ka mag-hyperlink. Okay, let's say slide number. Papipiliin ka kung saan mo pupunta. Let's say yung picture ay mapupunta sa slide number 1. Okay. Ayan, nasa slide number 1 yung picture na yon. Then control or shift F5 to present that specific slide. So, by the way, shift F5 is para ma-present natin o ma-slideshow natin yung one specific slide na gusto mo. Shift F5. Pag gusto mo namang balik ka sa simula ng presentation, F5 na lamang. So, ito yung nilagyan natin ng hyperlink. So, let's press this kung pupunta talaga sa slide number 1. Okay, so nasa slide number 1 nga siya. So, yung sa simula natin. Okay, so that is hyperlink. Ang hyperlink ay ginagamit natin. So, itong mga ito is naka-hyperlink lahat to. Sample, ang hyperlink nito is remove link. Ang rock topic ko ay nasa number 3 slides. So, let's say hyperlink to slide number 3. Select mo lang yung slide, then okay, then okay. Then automatically, once you present it, pupunta ka na sa rack. Okay, once you click it. Okay, so that's it. Okay, that is hyperlink. And the same thing, ang hyperlink ay pwede mong i-hyperlink or i-link from one PowerPoint to another PowerPoint. Okay, example, remove muna natin. I-hyperlink natin into another PowerPoint. Okay. Other PowerPoint presentation. So, mamimili ka na ngayon. So, let's say, itong ating, yan. So, yan. Naka-hyperlink ngayon, itong rack natin sa other presentation. Try natin. Pinindot natin to. Okay. Okay. So, yan. Yan yung other presentation natin. Yan yung ibang PowerPoint. Kung napansin natin, ibang PowerPoint to. Okay, nagpunta tayo ngayon sa ibang PowerPoint. Then kapag in-escape mo, balik ka doon sa original PowerPoint natin. Okay, enable. Alright. Ayan. So, yan yung iyong hyperlink. So, punta na tayo dito. Ito yung kagandahan sa hyperlink. Sa science, gumawa ako specifically ng isang PowerPoint na nasa isang PowerPoint na lang lahat ng topics sa isang quarter. So ito'y dinistribute natin sa science teacher. For example, in grade 8, lahat ng grade 8 ay meron ng kopya nito. Ito ay isang PowerPoint lamang na naglalaman na ng buong topics at buong PowerPoint presentation ng quarter 2 or second quarter, which will be, I think this will be a great help sa atin kasi hindi na tayo maggagawa pa ng PowerPoint presentation in different topics. So sa second quarter, makikita natin dito ang different topics. Ito na yung modules ng quarter 2 or second quarter. Ito na yung topic, earthquakes and faults, understanding typhoon, comets, asteroid, and meteoroids. At meron na rin akong nilagay na assessment. So, ikik-kick lang ni teacher ang presentation na to at nado na siya sa topic. Earthquakes. Okay. So, yan yung ating earthquake topics. Makikita natin dito, nandito na yung topic natin at may konti pang mga energizer or any pampalasa. Then, pwede nating ibalik doon as home. Kasi nga nakalink lahat. At ang isa pa dito, for example, ito, understanding typhoon. Ayan, nandun yan na rin ang topic natin sa typhoon. Okay. Ayan. Ang maganda rito, pwede ka na rin maglagay ng assessment mo. Sa quarter 2, ito na yung pinaka-summative assessment ng lahat ng topic ng science second quarter. Okay. Makikita natin dito, ito na yung pinaka-topic, earthquake, tsunami, then typhoon. Then part na rin ng astrology in latter part. Okay, true or false, yan. Then identification, yan, the good thing. Nakita natin dito, nag-insert ako ng GIF photo. GIF bitmap animated photo dito sa ating screen. So nagalaw siya habang nagpe-present ako para talagang nasa si Kuya Kim ay nagpe-present ng typhoon broadcasting. So ayan, then nandiyan yung mga tanong. Okay. Then nandito na rin ang ating PAR or Philippine Area of Responsibility. So that is the good thing with this. Then, ito yung pwede mong gawin sa iyong PowerPoint na pwede tayong gumawa ng per quarter na actually. So, para hindi na tayo mahirapan each time. Then, nakalink lahat dito sa PowerPoint, lahat ng topic. Then, press ka na lang ng press. Okay. Punta tayo dito. Control M. New slide. Then, design. Let's say white. Okay. Meron tayong new slide dito. Kung napansin nyo, square pa dito. This is the old PowerPoint. So, it is compatible naman. Then, yung ating new PowerPoint design is the rectangle. Minsan, ginagamit ko rin ang square. Okay. In terms of animation, let's say nag-insert ako ng box. Insert box here. Okay. Then, Control-C, kinopya ko lang, Control-V, then pinaliit ko yung ating box. Ayan. Pinilagay ko dito. For example, then Control-C, Control-V para ma-duplicate ko lamang. Okay. Then ito, gusto ko nasa front. Alt-Shift-F. Ayan, nasa front. Gusto ko magka-group sila. Select mo lang lahat. Then, Alt-Q. Control-Q ang napindot ko. Okay, balik tayo doon. Okay. Alt-Q is to group. Yan, naka-group na sila. Right? We have here. Then, gusto ko pa mag-insert ng oblong naman. Alright. Where's the oblong part? Yan, this one. So, oblong dito. Okay, babaguhin natin yung fill ng shape. Let's say it is lighter color. Let's say white. Okay, white. Then, palaki natin ng konti yung oblong. Shift arrow up. Then, yung side. Actually, the side, kung left or right, pwede mong gamitin yung arrow cursor key right and left kung saan mo siya palalakihin. Okay, para makontrol mo. Okay, dalawa. Okay. Ayan. Then, since we just inserted shapes here, ang shape kasi pwede ka na mag-insert ng text. Double click mo lang dito. Okay, may text ka na. Okay, let's say PowerPoint. Hindi kita kasi nga white. So, palitan natin ng font which is black. Okay, PowerPoint animation. Control A, then Control bracket, close bracket to enlarge, then Control B to bold. We have here. Then, lagyan natin ngayon ng animation. So, animation, just press the animation, then animation pane para makita natin dito. In terms of animation, we have 3 different settings. Pero tayo mag-entrance ng animation, mag-emphasize ng animation, at meron din tayong exit animation. So, ang gagawin muna natin ay entrance. So, select muna natin yung ating group box. Hindi kasama yung oblong, okay? Yung group box muna. Lagyan natin ng add entrance. Let's say fly in. Okay. Ayan, fly in. So, nakita natin yung animation nagmula sa baba. So, pwede natin baguhin dito. Okay, effects option. Kanina from bottom. Pwede mo siyang baguhin since nandun yung part niyan sa kaliwa. So, from left. Okay, from left ngayon. Then, isunod mo ngayon itong oblong. Since nakapasok na yung rectangle natin from left, yung oblong naman ang lalagyan mo ng entrance. Let's say, split. Okay, nag-split. Since rectangle, gusto mo pataas yung split or vertical or horizontal, pwede mo rin baguhin yung option. It's vertical in or horizontal out. Since pa-out, papasok pa lang tayo, gusto ko yung pa-out. Alright, pa-out natin. Para yung pasok yan. Exactly, magbubukas pa lang yung ating screen. Then, kung gusto mo ay magkasunod na lalabas yun na hindi mo na i-on click. So, baguhin mo lang yung animation nito. Start with previous kung gusto mo magkasabay or after kung gusto mo ay magkasunod. So, after. Then, lalagyan ko ngayon ng exit para ang unahin ko yung huling pumasok. Ang unang mag-exit. So, yung oblong. Yung oblong ang unang mag-exit. So, press more exit option. Kung split ang ginamit ko sa oblong para pumasok, split na rin ang gagamitin ko para siya ay mag-exit. Okay. So, okay. Since kanina, horizontal out ang ginamit nating effects. Ngayon naman ay horizontal in. Ayan. So, yan. So, nawala na. Then, ang susunod nating i-exit ngayon ay yung ating rectangle. Add animation, more exit option. Ano bang ginamit nating entrance na rectangle? Which is fly in from left. So, this time, fly out. So, yung kanyang standard is from bottom. So, babaguhin din natin yung effects na magpa-fly out din siya sa papunta sa kaliwa. Kasi nga doon siya pumasok. Okay. So, that is the animation. Then, kung gusto mo rin magkasunod, syempre, is the after preview. Syempre, yung exit mo on click. Huwag mong isusunod doon sa iyong entrance. So, sa presentation mo, magkasunod na yun. Wala nang control. So, i-present natin tong specific slide na to. Okay. In presenting specific slide, just Shift F5. Okay, yan. Wala ka nakita, white background. I-mouse click mo, on click. Okay, pumasok. Right. Then exit mo, split, then fly out. That's it. So, yun yung sample natin sa ating dito sa part natin. Let's say, paliitin natin to ng konti. Ayan. Okay, meron na tayong title na may effects na. Okay po. Alright. Ayan, pwede pa tayo mag-insert ng other let's say the design. Kung gusto mo na yung presented design dito, ayan, mas medyo maganda-ganda yung naging style natin. Then maglalagay ka pa ng insert background. Pwede mong baguhin yung format background mo. Wherein picture insert. I suggest kapag maglalagay ka ng background sa PowerPoint presentation, pwede naman. Ang minsan ginagamit natin or ginagawa natin, select tayo ng background mula sa desktop natin, ika-copy natin at ipe-paste sa presentation. Pwede yon. Pwede mo siyang gawing background. Pero, mas mabigat siya sa presentation or doon sa bandwidth or doon sa bilis. Kasi nga, babasahin niya. For example, JPEG yung iyong still object, yung picture mo. In-insert mo as background, copy and paste. Magkaiba kasi ang dating. So, mas mabigat yung copy and paste. Mas magaan sa presentation kung in-insert mo siya dito. Yung ginawa ko dito. Which is right-click mo doon sa layout, then format background, saka picture, at i-insert mo yung picture. Magkaiba yon compare sa copy and paste mo. Let's say, select tayo. Kung meron akong background dito. So, I think, wala. Kundi, let's say ito. Okay, nagiging background yung aking hindi siya pwedeng magiging background dito. Okay ba ang kanyang text? Or kasi nga ito ay nakayan. Yan, exactly. Kasi nga meron na siyang sariling design. Yung background ko nasa likod ng design kanina. So yan. So ang background natin hindi maganda at contrasting. So sample background lang naman to. Pero kung gusto mo talaga yung background na pinili mo at nakikita natin na contrasting sa iyong ginawang presentation, pwede ka pang mag-insert. For example, mag-insert ka pa ng another box here. Ang gawin mo, i-cover mo yung pinaka-background mo. Yan, magtira ka ng konting design sa tagiliran, sa taas. Then, ito ay i-back mo, send to back. Ayan, send backward. Then, babaguhin natin yung kulay ng ating box na in-insert. Let's say, edit natin dito. Control C. Jump ako dito ha. Okay, yan. Punta ako sa new version. Ayan. So, yan yon. Format. Just photo. Okay. Then shape, format, we have here. Select na natin. Then shape effects. Ito yon. Then preset. Then 3D format. I-click lang natin itong 3D option. Then yan. Para mapalabo natin at maging wash out yung ating picture, yung material, gawin mo itong, select mo itong translucent object. Translucent powder. Ayan. So, kita natin dito, meron na tayong background. Pero kita mo yung background pero mas na-stress out yung ating text na nilagay dito. Okay? So, lagay natin dito sa part na ito. Okay. Ayan. So, ang nakita natin, gustong-gusto mo yung background mo, sige, pagbigyan, pero pwede pa rin naman ma-emphasize yung ating picture dito so we can make use of this technique. So, pwede mong i-translucent powder or wash out yung rectangle object na in-insert mo as pwede mo rin siyang gawing background. Okay, yan po. So, this is just sample. Nalobat na yung aking cellphone. Nalobat yung aking camera. Okay. That's it. That is the animation. And of course, you already know about the transition. Pwede naman kung paano papasok. Pwede natin i-select to. For example, select natin to 1, 2, 3. Then lagyan mo ng the same transition kung paano sila papasok. Kung rifle ba. Yan. Ang kagandahan dito sa Office higher version natin, 2016, 19, 365, nagkakaroon na ng preview yung animation mo. Hindi pa ba siya na-slideshow? Makikita mo na yung effects. Okay po. So, that's it. Ayan. So, this is the animation. In animation naman po, it is upon your creativity, depende sa iyong creativity at pwede ka pa magdagdag ng napakaraming presentation animated diyan sa iyong slide. For example, gaya ng aking sample dito, ito yung slide ko. Kung mapapansin nyo, Control A ko, napakadami kong in-insert. Kung titingnan natin, how about the animation ng bawat ito? Ayan po ang linalaman ng animation ng isang slide pa lamang. So, iyan, napakahirap gawin ng PowerPoint na ito. So, sabi ko nga, ang hirap gawin overnight, pero in just one click, na-copy-paste na agad. Ayun. Yun po ang PowerPoint presentation. Pwede mong paglaruan yung animation katulad nito. Pwede mong ipasok kaliwa, kanan, taas, or baba. Magdagdag ka ng image, magdagdag ka ng video, ng GIF man, or ng MOV. So lahat. Then lagyan mo ng entrance. Then the same thing, lagyan mo ng exit.